Big week, though, for central banks this week, and a week where there may be little coordinated action. On Wednesday, there's the Fed rate decision, 7 p.m. UK time, while the target rate's expected to rise by 25 basis points. The most interesting thing about this release will be the press conference to see what's behind the decision and to what degree there will be dissent. There's building evidence that the Fed may already have done enough, and is expected that this rate rise may be indicated as the last, at least for the time being. Then, if we look ahead to Thursday, we've got the European Central Bank on its interest rates, 1:15 p.m. UK time. The ECB will announce its decision, while the outcome that's expected is forecast to be the same as for the US, with the refinancing rate up by 25 basis points to 4.25%. There's a fair bet that the ECB will indicate that their job is far from over. And finally, as you can see here, on Friday, the 28th of July, the Bank of Japan interest rate decision. Economists are fairly united that the BOJ rate announcement will be, as it has for the last 5 or 6, 7 years, since it first adopted negative rates back in 2016, to have a short-term interest rate target of a negative 0.1%. Now, that's been the policy to fight chronic deflation that's plagued the Japanese economy for decades, and it'll continue to help jumpstart economic growth. We'll have to see how all that develops, but certainly the Japanese yen is one area of the market where we've seen a lot of movement on the foreign exchange markets. Recent consumer price inflation data was the back end of last week where we saw weakening in the Japanese yen. This is the dollar rising against the yen. And as you can see here, having drawn this Fibonacci on here, it has pretty much hit this line of resistance at 142.09, and it's now on the way down. Uh, Dependent on what happens over the next few days and possibly into Friday, if we see the Bank of Japan do exactly as expected, we could well see a continuation of this weakness. But it'll be interesting to see whether or not we can get a forceful break through this 142.09. We'll have to wait until Friday to see whether or not there's any major move out of that, depending on what the central bankers say on Friday. And of course, outside of that, it's really all about the European Central Bank and the Federal Reserve. And the direction of travel at the moment is for a weaker euro against the US dollar. We've got this support line down here at 110, which is the price target in the risk event that we had last week from Warren Venkatas from Daily FX. He was looking at that as a better price to go long on euro dollar at some time in the future.